Good evening and welcome to Netzach Yisrael's daily Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Shir. Today we're going to continue learning Siman Tes, Seifim Vav to Yud Aleph. The title of the Siman is Hilchos Tzitzis. Sif Vav. Im lo pasak es hachutin zemizeh, if he doesn't separate out the threads from each other, ela shalokach chut echad aroch ma'ad, but instead he takes one very long thread, and he folds it over into four and then inserts it into the hole, and he makes a knot and then cuts apart the threads so that they're separate. Posel. This is posel tzitzis. Mishum dechsiv, because the pasuk in Devarim says, "Gedilim ta'aseloch," you shall make yourself fringes, tzitzis. V'doshinon ta'aseh v'lo min ha'asoi, which was explained to mean you shall make and not use something that has already been made. Perush deba'inon sheyu hatzitzis b'sh'as asiyason al habeged kahalacha, meaning that we need that the tzitzis should be already on the beged, on the garment, according to the halacha. V'lo sheyu nasim b'fisol v'achakach yuchshru al yidei maseh shenimtzeu asuyim kara'oi, and not that he should put them on first, not according to halacha, unlawfully, and afterwards make them kosher through some act so that they become made properly. Dezehu posel, because this method is posel. V'chein im hoisa ha-tzitza asuya kesikuna al beged acher, and similarly, if the tzitzis were made in the manner prescribed by halacha on one beged, the beged became torn, and he wants to put the tzitzis as they are on a different beged, or even on the same beged. For example, if the talus became torn from the hole down to the edge, and the fringe fell off, the tzitzis fell out, and he wants to put them back in their place and sew up the hole in the talus, sew up the hole in the talus. V'zehu gam kain posel, then this is also posel. Mishum ta'aseh v'lo min ha'asoi, again because the mitzvah is you shall make and not use something that has already been made. V'chein im koshas hatzitzis b'shah shehaya talus zeh potel mitzitzis. Similarly, if he ties the tzitzis on the talus at a time when the talus is potel from tzitzis, kagon shehaya rubo tofu, for example, when most of the talus is closed up because it is sewn up, v'achakach hitim in hatfiros ad sherubo pasuach, and afterward he opens up the stitches until it's mostly open, v'chayav b'tzitzis, and then it is chayav in tzitzis. He needs to put tzitzis on it. Im yisharu hatzitzis kamoshahein, if the tzitzis are kept in the same state as they were beforehand, gam kain pasul, and then they're also pasul. Mishum taseh v'lo min ha'asoi, because the tzitzis must be made and not use what has already been made. What he needs to do in this case is to untie the tzitzis, and then put them on again kahalacha, in the manner prescribed by halacha. And similarly, any other instances that are similar to these examples. Sif Zion. Before wrapping himself up with a talis, he should examine the tzitzis to see if they are kosher. But tzarich libdok gam es hachutin, he also needs to check the threads, shehem b'soch hanekev, that they are in the hole, ve'es hakrichos, and the turns in the threads. V'gam yafrid es hachutin, shelo yehu mehudokin ze b'zeh, and he should also separate between the threads so that they're not tangled up with each other. But in nishtoha lavo leveis hakneses שבעוד שיפריד את הציצית ויבדקן יסבטל מלהתפלל עם הציבור. However, if he's running late and he's late to shul, and while separating out the threads and examining them, he will lose out the opportunity to daven together with the tzibur, with the congregation. Then he doesn't need to examine them and separate them. Instead, he should go straight into shul. Siv Ches. For all mitzvahs, we make the bracha over them over lasiyasan, literally passing their performance. Perush kodem hasiyah, which means before the actual performance of the mitzvah. Ula'acha habracha tekef umiyad tzarich la'asot es mitzvah b'li hefsek. And immediately after saying the bracha, the mitzvah should be performed without any delay. Lachein yechaz es atalis b'shtei yadav. So therefore he takes the talis with his two hands. V'yichavein shetzivonu hakadosh baruch hu lehisatis kadesh nizkar kol mitzvotav la'asosa. And he should have in mind that he is commanded by Hakadosh Baruch Hu to wrap himself in the tzitzis in order that he should remember all of Hashem's commandments in order to do them. Shenema, as the pasuk in the end of Shema says, you shall see the tzitzis and you shall remember all the commandments of Hashem. He should make the bracha while he is standing. Lehisatef bat tzitzis, the bracha to wrap himself in the tzitzis. And the Kitzur notes in brackets have base b'pasach. The base of bat tzitzis should be with a patach, not with a shava. V'yitatef miyad et rosho ad lamata mipiv. And he should immediately wrap his head until down to his mouth. And then he should lift up the corners of the talis around his neck, and wrap them as the Arabs wrap them, all around his head. And he should stand like that as long as it would take to walk 4 amos. And after that, he should say the pasukim which are written in the Siddur, Mayakar, and the following pasukim. And then he can remove it from around his head. And he should be careful not to let the tzitzis drag on the floor because of disgrace to the mitzvah. And therefore he should lift them up, and the Kitzur says he can tuck them into his belt and under his belt so that they don't drag on the floor. So if Tess, we don't make a bracha on the tzitzis, we only make a bracha on the tzitzis by day, not by night. And he should so initially he should be careful not to make a bracha on them until it's light enough that he can distinguish between blue and white. Techelas, of course, being the color that one of the threads of the tzitzis should ideally be colored. If he puts on the talis katan, what we refer to as tzitzis, while it's still night time, and he didn't make a bracha on it, or he put it on while his hands are not yet washed, while he's not yet done netilas yadayim in the morning, and therefore he didn't make a bracha on it. Then when he makes the bracha on the talis gadol, then he should have in mind with this bracha on the talis gadol also to cover the talis katan. Misha ein lao talis gadol, someone who doesn't have a talis gadol. then if he puts on the talis katan during the day, when his hands have been washed, yivorech alav al mitzvah tzitzis. He should make the bracha al mitzvah tzitzis. And again, the Kitzur points out havov b'pasach, that the vav of mitzvahs is mitzvahs rather than mitzvahs. V'im lov sho kashe'eno yachal levorech alav. If he puts on the talis katan when he's not able to make the bracha over it, so when it's nighttime or when his hands aren't clean, then afterwards, later on, when it is daytime and his hands have been washed, he should take the tzitzis in his hand, he should make the bracha al mitzvah tzitzis. If he goes to sleep with his talis katan on, he shouldn't make any bracha over it at all. But instead, when he makes the bracha on the talis gadol in the morning, he should have in mind to be to exempt himself from the bracha on the talis katan. If you parashat talisa, if he takes off his talis, v'dato lachazar elav sho miyad, and he has in mind that he's going to put it back on straight away, afilu halach lebeis hakisei, then even if he has to go to the toilet in between, then when he comes back and puts it on again, he doesn't need to make a bracha over it. Kivan demitzad hadin, and the Kitzur points out, since from the pure halacha, he can actually go to the toilet with the talis still on. Therefore, it's not considered a delay, a break at all in the mitzvah to take it off just in order to go to the toilet. But if his original intention was not to put it back on immediately, but then he changed his mind and put it back on again, then he does need to make a bracha on it. If his talis fell off him, unintentionally, then if a little bit of it, some of the talis is still left on his body, then even though most of it has fallen on the floor, since, as the Kitzur says, some of the mitzvah of the talis is still on him, he doesn't need to make another bracha on it when he's put it back on himself, when he's fixed it. But if there's nothing left on his body, but it's completely fallen on the floor, then even though he's holding it still in his hand, but it's not on his body, since there's nothing left of the mitzvah of talis on his body, because the mitzvah isn't to hold the talis in his hand, but actually to wrap his body in it. Therefore, he does need to make another bracha when he puts it back on. And if this actually happened to him during his tefillah while he was davening, at a point in the tefillah where he's not allowed to stop, for example, in the middle of Shemona Esrei, he can put it back on, but he shouldn't make a bracha then. But he should wait until he can make the bracha when he's finished that bit of the davening. And then he holds the tzitzis in his hand and he can make the bracha. If Yud Aleph, mutar lital talis shel chavera. It's permitted to borrow the talis, his friend's talis, ba'akrai, occasionally, ba'oma, occasionally as a general course. Gam shalom midato, even without the friend knowing about it. Lehispalel ba ulevorich alav, to daven using it and to make a bracha over it. Mishum demisama nicha leila enish deleva mitzvah b'mamone b'makam she'ein chesron kis, because it's presumed that the person is fine, he's absolutely happy if a mitzvah is done with his property, as long as he's not incurring any monetary loss. But he shouldn't take the talis out from the house where his friend originally left it. Because perhaps his friend is particular about this. He wouldn't want him to remove it from the house. If the talis was folded when he found it, then then he should return it folded when he's finished with it. However, on Shabbos he shouldn't fold it, because since anyway he can't fold it, because folding it will be an Isser on Shabbos. So we assume that his friend anyway would forgive him for leaving it unfolded. If he borrows his friend's talis just in order to go up for an aliyah for the Torah reading, there's a doubt whether he needs to make a bracha over it. So therefore he should have in mind that he doesn't want to acquire it. He's not making a kinyan over it. And then everyone agrees that he doesn't need to make a bracha over it. But for a congregational talis, a talis that belongs to the shul, even if he's only taking it to go up for an aliyah, he does need to make a bracha over it because it's considered like his own. A talis that belongs to the shul, when he's using it, is considered like his talis, so he does need to make a bracha. Thank you and good evening.